now, forecast first on Color 10 News.
Oh, it is warm out there. Skies are clear. Conditions are quiet, though, and that makes for an easy night to get through. Temperatures, take a look, just shy of 80 at this hour at 79. And it looks like morning lows only in the low 70s. Looks like we could be looking at a record high low temperature set here in the Springfield area and other parts of the Ozarks. The record high low for tomorrow morning is 69. Again, starting off in the low 70s. About 85 at noon. We'll be back in the low 90s for highs tomorrow afternoon, flirting with the record high for tomorrow. The heat will continue into the weekend, but fall will battle back next week. Fall temperatures, I can see them on the horizon. More on that coming up. Color 10 News at 10 starts now.
You're watching Color 10 News at 10 in high definition.
The discovery of burned remains leads to the arrest of 3 people in Texas County. Good evening. I'm Heather Lewis in for Jennifer.
And I'm David Oliver. The remains of 17-year-old Joseph Steinfeld were found near a trailer in Kabul. Police believe these 3 people are responsible for Steinfeld's death: 18-year-olds Andrew Verba and his girlfriend Isis Shower, and 24-year-old Brianna Calderas. According to a report tonight from the Houston Herald, Verba told police he stabbed Steinfeld. Then he and the girls drug his body outside where they burned it. Police say Facebook messages between the 2 women gave them a break in the teen's death, which apparently happened back on September 3rd, 6 days before Joseph Steinfeld's birthday.
Education coverage now at 10. A study suggests a persistent increase in demand for mental health services on college campuses. Color 10's Jennifer Abreu visited a couple campuses in town and is back to tell us how they're serving students here. Jennifer.
Heather, OTC, MSU, Drury, and Evangel all offer mental health services. Most students I spoke with today knew some kind of services are available even if they had never used it or knew exactly where to find it on campus.
Students are balancing so many other issues, not just their academics.
Those going to a school in Springfield can find mental health services right here on campus.
Just more convenient for the student.
Most I spoke with knew that OTC offers some kind of counseling services.
Through OTC's website, if you go to my OTC.
Heard it mentioned on the first day when they went over the syllabus, they told us where to find mental health resources if we were to need it.
Elijah Big, a transfer student at MSU, says he's seen plenty of information.
Last week they did a really cool thing out here in front of the bookstore where they did a suicide awareness thing.
A 2016 report by the Center for Collegiate Mental Health says anxiety and depression are the most common concerns and that rates of threats to self are increasing.
Our challenge has been making sure the students know that we're here.
Assistant Dean of Students at OTC, Joyce Bateman, says most referrals come from faculty and staff
who are with the students every day and know students' behaviors.
At OTC and Evangel, students can be seen within 2 days. At MSU, the average time to meet with a counselor is 1 to 2 weeks. But in a crisis, students at all those schools can drop in to be seen immediately or call to reach a counselor. Jury officials tell me there's not much of a wait here and counselors are highly responsive.
Honestly, I think they're cute.
For students, mental health services are an important resource to help them and their peers succeed academically.
Maybe it's just a point where they're experiencing a lot of different things, jobs, trying to balance stuff that's really going to test them. You need to know there's an outlet for you in case whatever you're going through and know you're not alone with it.
Bateman tells me students can also reach out if they need assistance with homelessness, hunger, or financial issues.
Jennifer Abreu at 10, thanks. It is certainly not easy for parents to take off work often when their child is sick, but now a local school district is making it easier for kids to be treated without even leaving school. The Monette School District first does an assessment in the nurse's office. If the nurse needs some more input, he or she will call a Cox Health nurse practitioner in Springfield through telemedicine, which is free. It's paid for by both a grant from the Missouri Foundations for Health and the Children's Miracle Network, and it's popular for both children and the parents.
Once we get the parent and the kid in the chair and sitting down, they're all like, oh, wow, that was super easy and super fast, and it was just like a doctor's appointment.
That system is currently active now in the Cassville, Ozark, Mountain Grove, Forsyth, and Reed Spring school districts.
New at 10, a Missouri task force looking for more funding for highway projects is halfway to its goal. The 21st Century Transportation Task Force is facing a funding shortfall. MoDOT says it will take $825 million per year to fully fund state needs. A top suggestion has been to raise gas tax by as much as 10 cents or even a diesel tax. Another option would be to reconsider toll roads, which currently are not allowed in most of the state. State Representative Bill Rybolt is on that task force. He says his first goal is to make sure there's enough money to draw down federal matching funds.
Main issue is we can't afford to lose our federal match. Today it's 4-to-1. We have to put up $1 for every 4 federal dollars, but that could change.
The task force will hold 3 more community hearings before narrowing down its recommendations.
A popular social media company is tonight pledging better cooperation in the congressional investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Today, Facebook's founder promised to release the content of thousands of ads a Russian company purchased and placed on its platform. Danielle Nottingham has more now from Los Angeles.
I care deeply about the democratic process and protecting its integrity.
Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg went live to admit Russia had no trouble placing election-related ads on the popular social media platform.
Most ads are bought programmatically through our apps and website without an advertiser ever speaking to someone at Facebook. And that's what happened here.
Zuckerberg said the company is turning over the contents of thousands of ads linked to Russia to congressional investigators as they look into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Facebook has also admitted that its internal investigation found more than 3,000 election-related ads costing more than $100,000 paid for by a Russian company with links to the Kremlin. Facebook said the vast majority of ads didn't specifically reference the U.S. presidential election or a particular candidate, but appeared to focus on amplifying divisive social and political messages. The vice chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee said he's been asking Facebook to step forward for 10 months.
I feel like Facebook finally has been responsive, but the proof will be in the extent of the materials they give us next week.
Zuckerberg is also promising his company will be more vigilant going forward, including disclosing who pays for political ads.
We're going to make political advertising more transparent.
Critics are urging Facebook to go further, saying it should disclose to its users how the outside meddlers may have influenced them. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News.
Facebook's action comes just one day after Twitter said it will also meet next week with staffers from the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Around the region now, 1 month after an off-duty Lee Summit police officer was fatally shot, a man is charged in that case. 22-year-old Sean Stewart of Kansas City is charged with second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and 2 counts of armed criminal action. According to court records, police responded on August 20th to a reported shooting at a restaurant in Westport. The victim, Officer Thomas Orr, had been shot and killed. Another person was taken to a hospital with a gunshot wound. Stewart pleaded not guilty in court today. Bond is set at $500,000.
I want to bring you some more local news this Thursday at 10. It's time for an owl at the Dickerson Park Zoo to spread its wings again. This afternoon, a rehabilitated great horned owl was released back into the wild. The Good Samaritan brought the owl over to the zoo's Raptor Rehab Center after it was hit by a car. The owl had fractured its collarbone. After 6 weeks of rest and care from zoo workers there, the owl was ready to take flight again. The Association of Zoo and Aquariums president and CEO Dan Ash was there to release the owl and celebrate the zoo's reaccreditation.
It means that Dickerson Park Zoo is one of the best zoological institutions in the world, not just in the United States of America, but in the world.
And Ash says the zoo has held that AZA accreditation now for 30 years.
After a star-studded grand opening gala last night, the Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium is set to open to the public tomorrow morning. The attraction, which is attached to Bass Pro Shops, will open its doors at 10 a.m. The 350,000 square foot museum houses 35,000 live fish, mammals, reptiles, and birds. Tickets to the Aquarium and Wildlife Gallery run $40. All tickets are for timed entry, meaning you have to select what time you will arrive. Tickets are still available online for tomorrow's public opening.
Well, Jamie's in our weather lab right now, where even though tomorrow is the first official day of fall, it won't feel like it, right?
Yeah, fall arrives tomorrow afternoon, but Mother Nature did not get the memo. In fact, we are looking at a likelihood of setting a record high low temperature tomorrow morning and potentially a record high temperature in the afternoon. This heat can't last, though, folks. I do see fall. It's in the distance, but it's coming. And I think those temperatures are going to feel awful nice next week. A look at that coming up next.
You're watching Color 10 News with David Oliver, Jennifer Kilman, weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warner, and sports with Dan Lucy. This is Color 10 News at 10.